Apparently, we are live, Sarah. Hello, everybody. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Can
let
you
us know
hear
if you
us?
can.
Oh,
I just had
Danny
to
Bono dump
reconnect to
truck.
StreamYard to be
Ah,
able to comment with y'all during the show, but I'm ready.
nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Let's see
Yeah,
here.
Daniel Bonus Dump Truck. Hello, Visionaries. Hello, W. Scottus One. Thank you, Visionaries. I
I
like
know. I think
that.
that's our fandom name. I think it is. I'm so
That's
excited. I love
fun.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. And then I don't understand if I can read. Is this a sentence for the emojis or is it just fun, like talking, save, talk. Wait, what is that? Is it a banana? I can't see. Oh no,
What,
it's like a goat with.
what are you
I'm
talking
I'm
about,
talking
Eileen?
about the Dan Bono dump truck, the
Oh,
emojis,
oh, oh,
all of
yeah.
that.
No,
Like, is
there.
that supposed to spell out a sentence or is
I
it just fun
I think
emojis?
it, yeah, I think it's just like a fun dump emoji. There's a Tom Merritt emoji in there.
I see
Um,
it.
and some other, I don't
Okay.
know, it looks like a bug. Hard to say.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you know how people spell out sentences with emojis, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to know these. This, I'm
There,
like, wait,
see,
so and so.
I'm an emoji person who like I mean sometimes they're relevant, but I often just like will send somebody like emojis because they're funny and don't make sense.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, there are times where someone's like, "This is a story," where I'm like, "Okay, let me look at it. let me
All right.
let me figure it out."
I
All right.
know, right? Okay, guys, we're going to get ready to go live. Here we go. In three, two.
Well, hello world. Hi.
Oh my God.
Hi, Eileen.
Hello.
Wow. Are we celebrating a birthday of some kind?
I am celebrating our fourth episode. So
Yay!
excited. And if those of you on video can see, I'm wearing a bunch of rings, which
You
could be a spoiler about our episode today.
Well, don't. Well, I mean, those are beautiful rings. First
Thank
of
you.
all, I love all things gold, so I'm with you on that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Apple Vision Show, a show that is all things Apple, the Pro, iOS, ecosystem of Apple in general, lifestyle, people around it, and everything in between, if there is anything in between. So, yeah, each week we want to break down how Apple and the ecosystem affects our lives for good and bad. What we like, tips and tricks that we might have, tips and tricks that you might have that you share with us, and what we want to see from Apple going forward. So I'm Sarah Lane.
And I'm Eileen Rivera. We're very excited to come back and switch it up because it's been all Vision Pro, Vision Pro, Vision Pro, right?
It has, to the point where Eileen and I are like, okay, we know that the show is called Apple Vision Show, and we're very clever. Okay, pat ourselves on the back here, but it's not just about the Vision Pro. It's definitely about Apple in general because the Vision Pro, for us, didn't exist for anybody. Didn't exist very recently, but a lot of other Apple things have and will in the future. So that's what the show is all about, and we hope it's a fun, good hang for all y'all, and we're happy to have you with us.
You know, a lot of times I think we're going to predict the future too. Right, Sarah? I feel like
I
we're
would
gonna
hope
we're
so.
gonna
Yeah.
manifest and ask for things from Apple. If we think like, "Hey, look at this company doing this thing. What if Apple entered the chat like we talked about last week?" If
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
do, generally then it becomes a thing. I hate to
If
say it because that's when we sound like fangirlings because you know when Apple joins, that's when it's real. It's like, well, calm down, everybody. It's been real, whatever it is, the thing that we're talking about, potentially.
mm-hmm,
It's just
mm-hmm.
someone got to the market first, and then Apple said, oh, you know what? We'll wait and we'll kind of develop our own thing. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Well,
I,
on that note, somebody has come to the market first, and that is, well, it was Ura first, but now it's Samsung with the Galaxy Ring. So this is a wearable device that you wear on a finger, like a ring.
Mhm.
because it is a ring. And the
Mhm.
idea is health and wellness, tracking sleep, tracking, heart rate, steps, all that good stuff. And this is an interesting category because, first of all, people who have the Oura love it. I have
Mm.
seen those around for years. I've never had one, so I really can't speak on it personally at all. But I wear my Apple Watch at night, which
Mhm.
is something that a lot of people for all sorts of smartwatches are like, no, not going to do that. The ring is a little bit of an easier sell, I think. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have to wear a whole watch on your wrist kind of thing. It's just like a ring that you don't take off if you want to do sleep tracking. Sleep tracking, just one of the things that Samsung Galaxy Ring wants to do. It's going to connect to Galaxy phones to start. Android phones coming soon. iOS TBD, maybe never. Now, you might say, well, why are we talking about a non Apple product? Well, it's because there is a rumor, and again, rumor mills with Apple. I mean, there is no bigger rumor mill, is that Apple may be working on a smart ring of its own.
Yeah.
Eileen, what do you think about that?
I kind of believe it. I also think because of the Aura being so popular, I mean, as I understand it, NBA stars are wearing them right now. Like, why not Samsung and Apple get into the game, right? And they're a lot cheaper than a watch, right? At least the Aura is 299, 349. And I guess it depends too on your use case for the watch versus something like this, which if it's going to track the health things that personally like I do, I like to track like the minutes, the heartbeat,
I
and
track
sleep,
everything, track it
everything,
all. Yeah,
the health.
I'm ready.
I want to track like my blood pressure and all that. I don't have to get the big apparatus and do this thing. Anyway, if they could do all of those things in one ring to rule them all, Sarah, then I'm in. I think I like it. And I think I don't have anything against wearing a watch to bed. It's just more about right now I have like a forget the battery life on my watch, but I do have it in my head that sometimes like, oh, but then the battery's drained. And when I wake up in the morning and then I need to charge it before going out, to the world. And what if I forget my watch because I left it on the stand because I was charging it because I was worried instead of
Mm-hmm.
waking up and then grabbing the watch and then going on my day and doing all the things. There's just, I mean, these are just little minor inconveniences, little steps, but it's a thing. It's a lifestyle kind of thing. More than half the population doesn't have a problem with that, uses the watch or a watch or some kind of device to track their sleep, but I would probably use this more. I don't know what the like battery life situation, how many times you'd have to charge. Can you just actually leave the ring on top of your phone and it charges really quickly, like while you're working? I don't know how it really works, but it just seems very convenient and they're pretty. I mean, the Aura is really pretty, and this
Mm-hmm.
picture of the Samsung ring, oh, that looks nice. I love it. I'll wear that. I mean, they'll have different
Yeah.
colors, I'm assuming. It sounds to me from what I read, the people at Mobile World Congress, it's pretty light. That
Yeah.
those that were able to
Yeah.
try it too. So just
Yeah,
like a ring.
and yeah, I think it comes in what, 3 to 4 colors, and
Yeah.
it will fit, because everybody's fingers are of different sizes, like
Yeah.
something between like 5 and 13. If you've ever
Mm-hmm.
had a ring fitted on your finger before, that matters. With a battery that I think if I understand correctly, the bigger the the bigger the finger, the more battery can go into there. But the
Okay.
but the company didn't say specifically battery lifetime. But the Oura ring, I think, is like a week. On a good
Oh,
week.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a full charge, because you kind of just set it and forget it, which
Mm-hmm.
is which is to your point about the Apple Watch. I think it's a very it's a very personal decision how we all charge our devices,
Yeah. Yeah.
like for me, and my mom has an Apple Watch too, and she had said to me recently, she's like, I just don't know how you can sleep with that on. And I'm like,
Oh,
ah, you just get used to it. I don't know. I don't even
yeah.
think about it. I just do. And it's not even that like in the morning I'm like, you know, going through all of my data of sleep, like all that crazy. I just have it. I have
Yeah.
it if I get to it. But what I do, to your question is like I get up, I charge my watch because I know I'm going to be sitting at the computer for about an hour, drinking my
Mhm.
morning coffee, looking at
Mm.
news,
Mm,
before I
mm.
even go outside or whatever. It
Okay.
charges, and then I've got it for the rest of the day. Maybe I charge it again, in the
Mm.
afternoon or, evening if I'm kind of going to be sedentary for a minute. But
Okay.
otherwise, it works out really well. If I don't wear it at night, that's where I feel crazy. I wake up in the morning and I'm
Really?
like, I don't know what I've done. The watch
Wow.
wasn't with me.
It's become part of your life, and that's what I mean.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't have a problem with having it on. I just have that mental check of forgetting things. Like, I forget things sometimes where now I'm so hypersensitive, I double check, did I unplug the curling iron before? It drives Tom's crazy, right? I'm like, we're like walking out the door. I'm like, wait, I know I did this, but let me just check. He's like, oh, okay, all right, what
He's
is
like,
going on?
he's like,
And it's,
you did it, but you're like, but
I
let me
know,
check, let me check.
because there are times when I didn't, and not many, not many.
Hmm.
And that's a not really a fair apples to apple comparison to the watch, but I had to have done it where I like run out the door and I hadn't been wearing my watch. I'm like, oh, sad. And I know I would do that just because I'm a little careless with the watch, not necessarily my phone. My phone, I'm like, oh my God, that needs to be with me everywhere. But with the watch, I'll just walk out. And if I'm halfway driving, somewhere, it's all of a sudden like, well, that's too bad versus panic, right? And so I
Yeah.
just know I'm not as careful with it. And so I want to know that I would be smart enough to remind myself to take the watch off the charger after, getting ready for the day. But I don't think I'm that smart, Sarah. I just am like, I got to go. I'm like, I'm not a
No,
morning
you're
person.
smart. It's just that we're all very busy. There are also, I mean, the to think about a watch versus a ring for something like health data, right? That's what we're doing. We're counting steps. We're listening to heart rate. That's what we're doing. A watch is a bigger. It's it's a computer. That's what it is. The ring, and we're talking about the hypothetical ring that does not exist, at least, as far as Apple is concerned, but that is something that, it's yeah, you're not getting notifications, you're not taking phone calls. You're literally wearing it as a piece of jewelry that gives you data. Now, the watch is more robust. It does more. That's great. But I've also been in situations where, for example, I remember being at a wedding about a year ago. I was wearing my Apple Watch. And, I was also wearing like a nice dress because it was sort of a fancy wedding, and someone sort of was like, oh, Sarah couldn't take off her Apple Watch for the wedding. And I was like, I want my steps and I'm going to
I
be
want my
dancing later.
steps. Yes.
like, but like, I realized like it's not totally right for every situation.
Right.
Like fashion is, in the eye of the beholder. But
Hmm.
I was like, no, I'm not taking this thing off. If I had a ring, that probably would have been a better situation. And
Yeah.
in some scenarios, some days, it's like all I really care about is counting the steps. So,
Yeah.
that would be enough.
I mean, do you depend on your watch for anything else? Like, do you like it if you are driving and you feel and you're using Apple Maps and you feel the pulse? Do you like that? Is that
I do.
important to you? Okay.
I do, but I also
Notif
have CarPlay. So it's like,
You
it's
don't need it.
one, I don't. It
Yeah.
without a watch, my experience, like I'm gonna get to my destination, I'm gonna be fine. But I
Yeah.
do like the tap tap tap, where I'm like, yeah, I know, about to turn left, but thank you for the
Yeah.
reminder.
Or the note, how about notifications? Sometimes the notifications I have to then go in and turn things off or whatever, but I
Yeah,
go
I
back
had
and
to
forth
turn off
whether
a
or not
lot
I
of
need it.
notifications for the
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. Because with the ring, you wouldn't have to deal with that. It's really just the health tracker, it seems, at this point. And
Well, or
that I think is
maybe, I mean, if
huge.
you've got again, with, the Samsung ring, it's a whole different situation. But if the Apple ring, let's just call it that, again, doesn't exist, just a rumor. But if it did, it would tie into the watch, the phone, the whatever you have on you, I would think. So yeah, all that data would be stored somewhere else that you can look at later or at your leisure, I guess. With the Apple Watch, I feel like it is very much a, yeah, like hi, notification, things happening here. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, okay, in fact, it's doing it right now. Stop, Siri. Oh my God. But I mean, I love this thing. I do. I
Yeah.
really really do. At the same time, I think I could get by with something that was a little bit more bare bones
Mhm.
and a little bit more of a jewelry thing than, like a big old watch. And that would be interesting. It would.
So I found an article, by the way, of a supposed patent that Apple had submitted with, like these are just, applications. They're not necessarily true. But if it is sort of the design of the ring, that there could be, like I have a ring here that I'm wearing that has kind of looks like one of the patented descriptions here that has a wider face so
Looks
that
a
there's
little like a Super Bowl ring,
possibility.
Eileen. Anything you want to tell
Right.
us?
Well, it may not be the Super Bowl, but it's pretty close. But like you could tap it, like there's something there that you could potentially tap or have some haptic feedback or some kind of
Yeah.
touchscreen
Yeah,
potentially.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. Like, so you've got the Samsung um, ring itself. It's just a ring, but then there's designs that maybe Apple might be pushing the envelope to make it a little bit. There's a little bit more options potentially. And again, this is just a application. It may not even happen, but these are cool concepts, I think, and something that might be different. And there could be all kinds of applications here with the with the wider touch screen. If there is a screen or it's just a touch pad that could connect to your phone or to your iPad or something. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. It's like, okay, this design. What is this?
I think anything that you're wearing on your person,
Mhm.
be it a watch, a ring, uh, glasses, AirPods, anything that's like attached to your body says something about you in a fashion sense, like whether you care about that or not.
Mhm.
And if it works seamlessly, and as a bonus, if you think it looks cool, great.
Mhm.
But I think that's where a lot of people are sort of like, not for me, or
Right.
yes, for me. If you got a phone, you put it in your pocket, you put it in your purse, you put it in your bag. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. That's a computer that is not attached to you. I think the attachment and something that other people see and judge you for good or bad is, I mean, that's real. That's fashion. That's
Right.
everybody does that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I am very interested in the ring and to see because I might use it more. I'm like, do I need all of the bells and whistles that a watch
Right,
has?
because you're thinking about upgrading to a new watch, and it's like if you don't want it, then no.
Yep.
Maybe something that's just a little bit more. I don't know, just well, you have a lot of rings, Eileen, so I don't know where it would go, but you could find a finger, um, a finger. But yeah, I think for a lot of folks, having options is better. For a company like Apple, having too many options takes away from the potential sales of something else that it would rather sell. And
Mhm.
Apple's not the only company to go through this, obviously. It's like if
No,
Apple wants to
obviously.
sell more Apple Watches, is a ring going to take away sales from the Apple Watch, which is going to be, I don't know, probably a more lucrative sale? Don't know.
Mhm.
So there's that. There's that
Yeah, that's
too.
true. There's all these business decisions outside of the competitors that are putting it out there, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, Samsung's out there, and I don't think we have all the details yet on when it will be released, but it's now on display, so it's
Yeah. No,
coming.
it's a real thing. It's a
And
real thing.
so, I think whenever anyone actually buys one, we should invite someone on the show and we should talk about it because I think wearables are huge, right? Wearables and um, it's just another facet of life that I feel like everybody, whether it be your headset or
Or Eileen leaving. Oh dear. Where where the art thou, Eileen Rivera? Somebody just
I
pieced right on. Oh, here
had,
you are.
you know, earlier, by the way. Did you know that I pieced out earlier? Like
No.
I crashed. This is the second crash.
Really? I was just
Yeah.
chatting away. I didn't even know. Well, because I don't look at the video all that often because I'm kind of, looking at articles or whatever. Well, welcome back, my
Thank
dear.
you. I'm like, I don't know what's going on today, but I'm like, now I'm scared that this is all gonna like fall. But everybody has been following along, right? Like I'm gonna put
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
like boop boop. This
Yeah.
is a point in the edit for the video or the audio later. But it's the rings. You know what? I took the rings off and I came back. There we go.
Well,
I
you
this
shouldn't have
was
done that, Eileen. You shouldn't have taken the rings off, okay? If there's anything I've
oh
said to
my
you over the
god.
years, don't
I mean,
take the rings
honestly,
off.
between the first time that I got to tell you this, between the first time I fell off the video and you didn't know, and the second time, which then you noticed, I was literally sweating. Like, am I going to fall out again? And I did.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry. I hate that.
I hope. Well, I hope I didn't
Sometimes the
sound like I
internet
wasn't.
just isn't our friend.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I really hope Sarah doesn't think I'm not listening. I'm just kind of worried this is all going to fall apart right now. So,
No, I assumed you were listening intently.
I mean, I was.
I was like, whoa, I'll just keep going. She's loving this.
there was there was a moment where you said something and I did go, wait a minute. I hope she wasn't asking me a question because there was something here and it started to buffer. You started to buffer. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
sorry everybody. Hello live chat.
Hey,
This is not
that's the joy of
people love
life.
live.
That's the joy of life.
Um do,
We all know it, and for everybody who's with us live, you get to experience it along with us.
you do.
Join us again, won't you?
So I put the rings back on for those of you with us here
Good.
visually
All right.
and
That's
live.
good
And
mojo.
so I don't know if this falls apart again. Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. Like,
Well,
who is ruling me right now?
let's blame it on the rain. It's not really raining here in LA, but it's kind of weird. It's
It
weird
is
weather
very weird.
today. So let's, I don't know, father time, wherever you are. Let's just get us through the show, shall
We
we?
just wanted to talk about rings and whether or not people are going to wear them. We all wear rings anyway. Do you guys want to buy? I would love to know from the chat room who's there. Like, does anybody want to get a ring, or are they just like
Yeah.
watch only, or ring? Because am I team ring or team watch, or do you not even care? Rings have spirit powers, says Carl. Apparently, it's taken me off the air if I take them off. So,
I mean, all kidding aside, I probably would not be in the market for one just because I'm happy with the watch and I don't have a problem wearing it. I mean, I sometimes even like forget I'm wearing it and get in the shower and I'm like, oh, sorry, little Apple Watch. Well, I guess you just got showered. It's just like it's like part of my body at this point.
yeah,
I
yeah,
really I don't ever not wear it unless I'm charging it when I'm home and not doing
yeah,
anything. But so I probably wouldn't have both. But
yeah. That doesn't
but
make
at the
sense.
same time, product that doesn't exist that might exist in the future could change my mind. Maybe there are those times, where Sarah goes to a wedding and is like, you know what, Apple Watch doesn't really work, but the ring is very nice. I
Well,
can't
I'm
imagine
sure I know.
how many weddings there would be that, I would have that conversation with myself. But, that's one, example.
Well, and knowing these devices, they're gonna talk to each other, right? There's gonna be some,
Yeah.
you know, feature that the Ring talking to the watch will give you enhanced data, or, will give you more opportunities to, I don't know, to connect to something else. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there will be a reason why to get both. I think because, you got to sell it, right? But certainly there's the market of, oh, I don't need the watch. I'll take the Ring.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Now I see it. Poor Eileen. Oh. Well, blame it on the rings. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now look at us.
Now you've got two of you. Two is better than
Can I
one.
get rid of us? This is gonna be so much fun to edit later
You're
today,
gonna
you
love
guys.
it. You're gonna love it.
This video is off the rails, and it is the video is off the rails. I'm not gonna have to edit the video because, yeah, you guys, it's just gonna live forever on YouTube, and you will
This is
see
just,
the
if
hot
you're
mess.
here with us right now, you can, tell your grandkids about Apple Vision Show episode 4.
The audio people will never know. People
They'll
who are just
never
listening to audio,
know.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
so clean.
Blissfully unaware.
We're just trying to talk about rings.
We really were. But okay,
Yes.
so we've talked about rings. There are other rumors about other Apple products that I wanted to mention briefly.
Yes.
And Eileen, one of these came to me in a dream recently.
Oh, really?
I know that sounds crazy, but dream recently as in last night. So last night I had a dream, and dreams are weird. They don't make sense. So
Right.
this is all crazy. But I was at a convention, in a building, with somebody else who was walking next to me. Let's say it was you. I mean, I don't know who it was in the dream,
Yeah.
but let's say it was you. And we were both wearing Apple glasses. What are those? I don't know. It was
Yeah.
basically the Vision Pro, but they were glasses. They weren't actually
Yeah.
goggle. The Pro in its current form. And the person said, "Oh, Sarah, can you make it look like the ocean out there?" Because we were kind of walking along the edge of a building where, I don't know, it was like a parking
Ooh.
lot,
Uh-huh.
outside. And so I did that, and it happened, and everyone was like, "Ooh, oh, can you make it like a different ocean, like a different beach, like Bondi Beach in Australia?" And so I
Yeah.
did, and it worked, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, no, this is the right vibe." And so this is a
Oh.
crazy dream, and I know this
Mhm.
sounds a little, I've I've been outside too long, but I thought, there's something to this. There's
Mhm.
something to the whole idea of wearing glasses and being able to, whether you're right next to somebody or not, being able to have an experience that you
Mm.
both enjoy, that
Yes.
is an augmented reality thing.
Mhm.
The Vision Pro is a step towards that, but it's just not everybody's going to have that, and you're not going to
Yeah.
walk around with the, with the headset on, out and about all the time. This felt like, this could be kind of cool. Now I
Yeah.
know this is a crazy dream, but I woke up and I was like, that is not a bad idea. If we could somehow do some sort of AR, we're in the world, but
Mhm.
we also have it's like putting I don't know, a different desktop background,
Yeah.
on your computer, because you look at it all the time. It's like,
It
oh, how cool to feel like we were at the beach, even though we very much weren't.
it sounds to me like you're applying environments, but in a bigger way, right? Like the
Yeah.
environments feature on the Apple Vision Pro, where you could just put a different background, but this time it would really encompass your feel your vision, that you're where you're looking all the way around, right? Like
Yeah.
not just in front as the wallpaper desktop. Does that make sense?
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little bit more interactive, I guess.
There would have to be, of course, a certain amount of safety involved where you still need to like know where you're walking. This actually, if anyone, and many of you probably who listen or watch the show are familiar with iJustine, she had a very funny video that she posted recently. I think it was on Instagram or maybe on Threads, or same. But she was wearing the Vision Pro at an airport, and just like, okay, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna, once it's, we're ready to board, I'm gonna just keep wearing it. And people were like, ma'am, please be careful. Watch your step. And she's like, I can see. I can see the world. You don't think I can see the world, but I can because, of the pass through. That is something that, with glasses, that's a conversation you wouldn't really have to have with anybody if they work appropriately. And as long as you're safe enough to actually be able to see the world, even if you had like a fake beach, like in my dream,
Yeah.
behind you or around you, that could be so fun. Like you could have like themed days. Like today,
Ooh.
I'm in the desert, or today I'm at the beach, or today I'm in Munich. I don't know. You could have some fun with that.
I don't see the comment anymore, but I saw someone relating it to like a blind date. Like, what if
Oh.
you were on a blind date, but you guys went somewhere exciting through the glasses instead of just being, at where you currently are, and maybe could enhance
Is
that
it
date.
is it
Where is
a
that
is it a
comment?
is it a remote blind date, or are you, I mean, next to each other?
Oh, Sarah TW, please let me know. I can't find your comment here, but yeah, remote blind date, or are you guys together like what Sarah mentioned, and you are, I don't know, experiencing this virtually together? Because then that, to me, like you said, like, isn't that interesting? Vision Pro dating.
Vision Pro dating. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a commitment. Kind of fun, maybe kind of not fun. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to try. I'll take one for the team on this one, everybody.
Wow.
I'll do
Are you
it.
saying that here? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why not? Why else are we here? Let's
Are
have
there
some
going to
fun.
be dating parties with the Vision Pro? And somebody set that up, and then Sarah will take one for the team.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's fun. Yeah, listen, it doesn't, we don't have to get married. We can just, we can just have a date. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be good stuff. But yeah, the Vision Pro, and I know we're kind of talking about other stuff on the show today, but that whole idea of people thinking that you can't see them, because it really looks like you can't. It looks like you've put, a helmet on your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
And that whole like, no, I can see you. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna fall, kind of thing. It's like, I get that. I really do. The whole sort of like, oh, you can see the eyes inside. You really can't. People think you can't see. People think that you've essentially put a blindfold on and are doing something else on the inside, which you are kind of, but you can still see.
So
You can see better than, any pass-through option I've seen on other VR devices.
I have a terrible thought.
What?
As long as there's no one else in need, I mean, you could use that to expedite your way into the plane, and people who need extra help. As long as you don't see anybody, like if everyone's healthy
Please,
and you're
please,
like,
sir, I am but a poor Vision Pro wearer, and I must board first.
like if, oh man, if you're on like Southwest and you have like C40 or whatever, and, but don't they always ask like anybody who needs help or whatever? As
Yeah.
long as
I
you're not
can't
taking
see.
away,
I
as
can't.
long as you're not taking away from someone who really who's in need, it's like, don't
Eileen,
lie.
as much as I would love to pull that card, I don't think it's gonna work. But
I
somebody else
know.
try it and let us know.
I'm just being
Feedback at
weird. I
applevisionshow.com.
mean, the stream has crapped out on me several times. I don't know whether it's the rings or the knot, you know? I mean,
It's just one of
it's a
them days.
Monday. It's a
Yeah,
Monday, you
it is
guys.
a Monday. Yeah, yeah. If you're listening on demand, you could be listening on any day of the week. But we do record these on Mondays. We are live. We start at 2:30 Pacific time, and we stream it live. It would be very fun to have y'all here for the ride. Thanks to everybody who is here with us now. But yeah, you've got options for the show. We will have a video cut down later, audio as well, wherever you get your podcasts. But we do stream live, so that is just something to keep in your back pockets.
Yeah, if you want to talk to us in real time.
Well, if you do that, Eileen goes away. So cool. What in the heck or who is happening over there? It is getting slightly. It is getting slightly stormy outside my window. And I'm like, is it weather related? I don't know. I mean,
I think
I think your household is usually pretty weatherproof, but
it
it's
is.
just one of those things.
I see a new Chrome available. I'm using Chrome right now, and I did not upgrade, so
Well,
perhaps.
Actually, I'm on Firefox right now.
And these things happens, guys. Thank you all for your patience.
Yep. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Man, Sarah. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of doing it live, Apple Sports app, Eileen, what are your thoughts? I know you installed, you took a look around. What do you think?
I am still, it's kind of nice to have everything now that I think about it in one app instead of the NBA app or the MLB app. But I kind of need to see more in action. I added a couple teams and, it's nice to have the scores handy, but I'd like, with, let's say the MLB app, I know this one for sure. There's clips, there are, I get notified bonus clips or reminding me, hey, you can watch real time, or you can listen to the radio or the TV broadcast.
Some headlines of big news type stuff.
Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. I thought I almost crashed again. And I haven't really taken a full. It's pretty. It looks really nice and it's clean, and I can see and I can even see the betting odds on here. I could see, the who's leading in which conference, and so it's a nice handy guide. I'm not quite sure how it'll play out for me during specifically the baseball season, but why not? Why not have it all in your hand? But I don't know. What do you think, Sarah?
Well, I'll be honest. As a sports fan, I mean, baseball, basketball, NFL, those are my big sports. Although I care about soccer. I know some people don't like it to be called that, but that's what it is. And hockey, secondary, but still, I care. I care about sports. I really do. I thought that the app was like, okay, all right, well, here are my teams. NFL seems to be missing, probably because we're in the off season. It'll come back at some point. Somewhat bare bones. I talked about this with a few people who care about sports on a deeper level than I do, who were like, "This is garbage.
Oh,
what is Apple doing? Like, why would they have introduced this app that is so half baked? You don't have really obvious teams that you can follow on the app. There's nothing really to do."
No.
Are they going to get into gambling? What is going on? I don't know. I can't really find it within myself to get all bent out of shape about it, because I'm like, you have other options, just like use another sports app.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what it is.
it's
It's
not
like
hard to follow sports. It's just like it's nice to have it all in one place.
yeah, and I'm assuming this is going to evolve too. So there's going to be more bells
Yeah,
and whistles as we move forward, and maybe it's just a I don't know. I don't think it's just test, but like it's I, Sarah. Like I don't know what it looks like on the Vision Pro, but yeah, it's
that is
fine.
not something I've checked.
Okay.
I'll have
Well,
to
let us
do
know.
that. Yeah.
Because if it's just scores, well, okay, thanks. I mean, I don't know. I have the MLB app and I'm pretty happy with it and it's pretty robust. So,
Yeah.
and I don't have the NBA app, but I'm assuming it's the same. So, there's no point in me using this app at this point, is where I'm going with. It's
Well,
like, okay, just scores, but I have
yeah.
that. I also have Google Alerts because I follow my favorite teams on Google, and so
Mm-hmm.
I will get
Mm-hmm.
the scores. If I'm not watching the game, I'll know by the end of the game like who won and who didn't.
Eileen, it's the rings. She's wearing too many rings.
I'm taking them off.
Oh, girl. I
I
don't
need
know.
soap.
I don't know.
Eh,
I find this amusing, but if it were me, I'd be like losing my mind right now. So
Thank you for thinking it's amusing instead of annoying.
I'm
Um,
not annoyed. You're gone and back again in 60 seconds.
I just refreshed and I'm like, look, I'm back again, everybody. Oh my God, Marciello Arcele. This is an epic live stream. Thank you so much. Like, we will always remember
This is
episode 4.
this is
Gee.
yes, this is the beauty of live. You know, humans in their rawest form. Episode 4. Episode
Yeah.
quad.
And
Mm.
I have to relive it because I have to edit this for audio. I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's do it again. This, do you know? I think I've dropped out like 5 times on this live stream already.
I think it's been
So
5. I
yeah,
think it's been 5.
it,
5,
it,
like Super Bowl rings. So, good work. Good work. I see
all
what you're
in the ring.
doing, Eileen. Okay, we get the joke.
Sarah, I'm really not trying to end the show. Secretly, Sarah's thinking, "Gosh, she really wants the show to be over. We don't have to do that long of a show."
I know.
But
I'm
man,
like, okay. Gosh. I mean, I had more to say.
just I checked out with the sports app. I'm like, yeah, I'm with your friends. I didn't really say it up front, Sarah, but piece of garbage. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. Like I said, it's pretty. It's pretty, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's probably going to have another iteration that will make it make more sense. That's my thinking anyway.
absolutely, absolutely.
In the meantime, you got other options. It's certainly not a like must-have download, even if you're a
No,
sports fan. But if you are a sports fan and you like it, let us know why you like it more than, I don't know, a Yahoo Sports or, one of the many
right.
other options that you have to track your favorite team. We had a funny conversation the other day, Eileen and I did, where Eileen was like, "Oh, Apple Music does this like fun replay thing, sort of like, what's the Spotify version? Spotify
Oh,
Watch,
Wrapped. Spotify
Wrapped.
Wrapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, same idea, So like, let's both do it for January." And she's like, "Here's my January," and I was like, "Well, Apple Music said you didn't listen to any music in January."
I posted this on
And
our
I was
socials
like,
for anybody that
I was
followed.
like, there's no way that's true. I did. Did I? Maybe I didn't.
I
The
guess
the truth is, even though I like music, I subscribe to Apple Music. It's actually part of my Verizon wireless plan, but I pay for it essentially. I don't think I listen to any music that would be, at least through Apple Music, that would be tracked. I've just been so all in on podcasts, which is,
Mm.
funny because we're doing a podcast right now.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'll get in the car and depending on where I'm going, if sometimes I'm like 10 minutes, like don't even start
Yeah.
a podcast, like, because then I have to get out and go to the grocery store or whatever. But if I'm on a walk with my dog, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we got some time. I just like I love just having a podcast because I have a story that starts and ends roughly when I start and end, my walk or my run or, whatever. And I
Yeah.
guess I just never listened to any music in January. I tried February, by the way, and it was like
Oh,
not enough data. So,
right. Yeah,
so because
we
we're not
gotta
done with it yet. So,
yeah, we
yeah.
gotta finish. Did you I guess the next thing to check would be your year for 2023 because they did do the yearly replays. It's just the first time that they decided to do monthly. So it would be interesting to
Oh,
know. You don't have
what
to
was go?
expose anything, Sarah, but like at least tell
I
us if
mean,
you have played.
I've got no shame. I got no shame in this game. This is your replay. Jump in. Let me see if I can do. Oh yeah. See, I was only doing 24. Let's see. Oh, look at
Okay.
2023.
Okay, you listen to
Okay.
some music here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes. Last year, quite. This is your replay. Oh, it's still. Ooh. Well. I'll just tell. I'm not going to go through it,
Yeah.
piece by piece with everybody. But my top artists for 2023 were Otis Redding, for obvious reasons. That's who my dog is named after. Elliott Smith, Wilco, and Rihanna.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
How many minutes?
800. 787 total songs. Certain songs also a little embarrassing that I listen to over and over.
Oh
Rihanna,
yeah.
who is like my favorite artist ever, so I'm not embarrassed about her. Diamonds. Apparently, I
Okay.
listened to that 14 times in 2023. I don't know. I guess once for every month, plus a couple. Whatever.
I don't know if that's a lot, Sarah, but you did listen to music.
I
So, I mean,
did. I did.
yeah.
I am a music listener.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun if you the thing about it is that you have to like hardcore Apple Music users are going to get more out of this, and I mentioned on our socials like I do listen to most of my music on Spotify and Apple is sort of like, "Oh, special Apple version," or if I want to
Mm-hmm.
hear the spatial audio, or I don't know. I just kind of listen to it. I use Apple Music differently, but it's not, I haven't really catered it to my taste because I'm doing that all on Spotify. So it's interesting. So, um, it may not really be what you're listening to all the time because you're not using in that way, but it can be if you try. So I might try a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. It's just when you just invest, this is exactly what happens. You invest so much on a different platform that it's
Yeah.
just hard to move over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Um,
can't tell you how many times someone's like, "Hey, this is a cool song, or album or
yeah,
artist or whatever," and they send me a Spotify link, and I'm like, I am
yeah,
Apple Music. It's like I can listen to it on Spotify. Like you can have a free account on Spotify, but I'm like, no, I just want everything to be on Apple Music. Come on, get on my team. But it doesn't really matter. It
no,
really
no,
doesn't.
it doesn't matter. And frankly, the artists need both streams to count. If you're trying to support a particular artist, they
True.
need the
Yeah.
streams on Apple, they need the
Yeah.
streams on Spotify. So listen to them in both areas if you want, or wherever you do, Google Music, wherever you decide to listen to music. But I didn't mean to make fun of you, Sarah. I just thought it was so funny. Like when you told me that you didn't have a January, I was like, this is awesome. Like
Well, so
you
in
were
my
busy.
in
You
my
were busy moving.
defense, in my defense, yes, I moved mid December, but then it was the holidays, and I mean, my house is definitely more put together than it was a month ago, but like still
Mhm,
it needs some work. I'm only 2 months in, and so I think I just like I don't know, didn't listen to music. But that's
mhm.
so weird. Like at first I was like, oh, this is a bug of some kind. Like
Yeah.
it like hasn't like tracked my music. And then I was like, have I though? I mean, maybe not. Maybe I only listened like on the radio here and there, which I'm still like a weird legacy media person who's like a
Mm.
good radio station, just give it to me, I'll
Ah.
take it. Yeah.
Do you do satellite radio at all in your car or no?
I used to. I used
Okay.
to when it was free with my Volvo lease. Now that I've
Yeah.
bought my Volvo outright, I would have to pay for it, and I haven't. But in LA, where we
Mhm.
live, there's like cool radio stations. KCRW is like a
Yeah.
great NPR affiliate that does like a lot of music and surfaces cool stuff that I wouldn't know about otherwise. I don't know. I mean, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's fair. That's fair.
we all
And
are.
you have to be really active to choose on Apple Music, right? And like you said, if you're only using it for podcasts,
Well,
you
and like
know.
how many times have you sat like even maybe you're in the car going somewhere and like what do I want to listen to? Or maybe on the couch in the living room being like what do I want to watch? And sometimes you're just
Mhm.
like I don't know. I just want
Just give me
some
something.
just give me
Yeah.
something. Give me something that I'll like. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to
You
be in charge right now. I feel that way
exactly.
sometimes with music.
Ah, okay. Well, just to toot Apple Music's horn, I mean, they do have radio stations on,
Very true.
that you can actually just go in there and like they'll give it to you. Like, oh, I'll get into the. Let me see here. What do I want to listen to today, Sarah? The
We'll never know. We'll never know. And that's the day Eileen died. So tragic.
so this
C-SPAN is like, are we at 6? I think we might be at 6. Oh.
I was just gonna get excited about the Get Up mix, you guys. The Get Up mix, and I
Oh,
couldn't
the
even
Get Up
tell you.
mix. Yeah. No,
Bill
you know
mix,
what? You're right. Those radio stations, I mean stations on Apple Music or is the only app that I'm using. They can be awesome.
Yeah,
And you got like cool sit downs with artists and
yeah.
yeah, all sorts of stuff. All
I mean,
sorts of stuff in there.
there's a radio tab. I just forgot to tell you about that. But yeah, you
Oh
could listen
yeah.
to
Mhm.
their hosts. You can listen to a lot of the artists have their own shows. Elton John has like an ongoing radio show that you can listen to on demand. Which
Yep.
sometimes he's got some pretty interesting. That man's listening to music is what I'm trying to say. Oh, and like actually, I forgot all of the stations are on there. But it is easier to just turn on your car radio, though, right? Especially if you're just
I
driving
mean,
around.
yes and no. You're right that I mean, if I'm sort of like, okay, I like NPR content, KCRW, which is a it's an LA based radio station. If anybody hasn't figured that out, which is it's quite well known as
Mhm.
far as being sort of independent news, but also a lot of music station. They've got an app. I mean, all
Yeah.
of that stuff could be a
Yeah.
CarPlay thing for me.
Mm.
I don't know why I just get lazy sometimes, and I'm like,
No,
terrestrial radio, it works. It
and you
still
know what?
works.
Whatever's easiest for you is probably what should work best until you decide that you want something different, Like
Exactly.
everybody should do what's best for you, and then if you want to do something new and try something new later, great, It is there. Sometimes I discover things I'm like, "Wow, I had no idea that was already there." It would have been easier for me, but I didn't know. Like
Same,
you
same,
open up an app,
all the
but
time.
that's the beauty. That's it. Everybody has a different timeline, I guess, right? Like it's the way I think about watching shows. Some people might be binging a particular show, but I don't get to that for another 3 or 4 months. Then I go, oh my God, I totally get it now. So, thanks for
Yeah.
encouraging me, but I just didn't want to do it when
Oh
everybody else
yeah.
did for whatever
Oh my
reason.
gosh. What's the show with Meghan Markle, Suits? Um,
Oh, are you
I've
watching
never
that? Wow.
watched it.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't tell you how many people were like, Sarah, you will love the show. And I'm like, I know. I believe you. I'll get
And
to it.
are they
I'll get to it.
are they picking they're going to go back to it or something, right?
I
Like
don't
the
know.
new Oh,
I've never
okay.
even seen the show. I don't even really know what
I
it's
only know the
about.
news. I don't watch the show either. But I will tell you something like Succession. Now we're going on tangents here, but like it took me uh 2 seasons to finally watch it, and I binged the first 2 seasons in, like, 2 weeks. It was so good, but I didn't watch it along with everybody else. There we go, balloons. And then, of course, I finished watching it, with everybody live,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it was one of those things. I'm like, no, I don't need to watch a bunch of rich people. And then when I finally started watching it, oh yes, I need to I need to watch
I
this
need to know who
diabolical rich.
wins.
I
Yeah.
need to
You
know.
know what? It's so funny. My mom was the exact same way. I remember, I don't know, I was visiting her or something, and we were sort of like, "Oh, let's watch something." And I'm like, "Are you caught up on Succession?" And she's like, "No, I never started." And I'm like, "Mom, you have to do this. Okay, I will start with you episode 1, season 1 right now." And
Yeah,
like the first episode she was like, "So this is just about like rich people who are mean to each other?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's great. You just go with it, you know?" And she was sort of like, "I don't know. I don't like it." And then by the end of it, she was right as the same as you, like, very like, on the, forums and, talking about Succession.
she was on the forums. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm.
that's awesome.
She does the forums. Yeah,
Yeah, no, 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 that's awesome. That means she
she
was really into it, that she wanted to keep the
she
dialogue
was into
going.
it. Oh yeah,
She was
oh
like,
yeah.
"You were not enough. You weren't talking to her enough about it." She's like, "I gotta go to these people online."
Eileen's gonna die again.
Am I gonna die again?
I think so. You've gone black.
What?
Yes. You've gone black, and that's usually when you die. Aw, goodness gracious. I need a drink. Goodness gracious. All right.
This is the worst. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You know what I do want to talk about though? And this is I've been holding this one in my back pocket since I guess early January at CES. But this is a fun one. Just a little. I don't have it, but wondering if anybody has or would be interested in the Clicks iPhone case. So what it is it's a case for either a Pro or a Max iPhone 14 or 15, which adds a physical keyboard to the bottom of the case. So you might be like, how would it add a physical keyboard? It makes the iPhone longer. Like it's not overlaying what the virtual keyboard would be.
Ah.
But once you dock it, once you have the case, it apparently works, pretty seamlessly, and allows you to type using a keyboard. Anybody who's a BlackBerry fan might say this is pretty great. It's going to be $140 for iPhone Pros, and then $160 for Pro Maxes, which obviously are the larger phones. So different size cases. Comes in black and yellow, kind of cool. I actually had somebody send this to me during CES and was like,
Ooh.
"This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." And I was like, "Are you really going to get one?" He's like, "Yes, I love this. I miss my BlackBerry. I miss physical keyboards. This is awesome." I don't care enough to get this. I just don't.
Okay.
But
I thought you were building me.
I
I
get
thought
why,
you were
like,
building me up.
well, I'm building anybody up who wants this. I just don't care. I also just don't. I don't feel like I type on my phone in any capacity like enough where I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this all day. Like I really need a physical keyboard. If I
Yeah.
did, then maybe this would be like a super cool, maybe a travel accessory type thing.
Okay.
I don't really care, but I know a lot of people who do, and I think it's pretty genius. And it works while you have the case on the phone. Charging works through pass through, fine. Apparently, there's no the battery charges as it should, but you can't do any data transfer from another device, which would be
Oh,
annoying. So like
okay.
it really seems to me like something that if you like, let's say, I don't know, like all you got is your phone. You are not going to be near a laptop or a desktop or whatever for some time, and you're going to have to write some emails. This might be a pretty cool thing. Or maybe you just like, that tactile situation,
Right.
which is also cool. It's cool that it works.
Yeah, no, it is cool. And, hey, they've got this bright yellow color and they have the London sky color. I guess it's reserved, not get notified when available. But I feel like I don't need this, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, especially there are people out there that really need that tactile feel, right? So I'm like, hey, this is for you. Um, I wonder if it seems like it wouldn't make it feel like, when you have an addition and if you're only holding it at the bottom of like, it doesn't feel like the phone is dropping, right? Do you know what I mean? Like because
Mm,
you're typing all the way at the end and your hands
yeah.
are all the way at the end. It doesn't ever feel like, oh, I'm gonna tip. Just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is just it's a form factor that I think is really genius. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, I know a lot of people are like, yes, this is what I
Mm,
want.
mm-hmm.
I miss my, I don't know, T-Mobile, uh, what was the one? The oh come on, somebody in the chat help me out. The team sidekick.
Oh,
Like
sidekick.
back in the days, where we had
Yeah.
the keyboards. I
Mm-hmm.
love that stuff. But yeah, this is I also just don't use a case for my iPhone, which
Oh,
is
that's right.
totally
You're
to my detriment because I end up shattering all of them. Although I did not shatter my last 13. I had it for a
okay.
good solid couple years. All good, no problems. I just don't. I feel like cases they're fine, but I'm like, well, now I just can't see the phone that I bought. I just want it by
Mm,
itself.
mhm. I always
I
get the
want it
clear case
raw.
for that reason because I choose a color for a very important reason to me for aesthetics, right? So I want to
Yeah.
show off the color. So I generally just go with a clear case. If I want to spend the extra dough and get like another, fun, funky case, then maybe I'll do it. But for the most part, I just I pretty much buy when I get the phone, I go right to the Apple store, I buy the clear case, and I'm out the door. So, and then I never look back. And I haven't bought other cases since the last couple years. It's usually the same one, although this one's cracking, so it might need this one. My current case, I dropped my phone a couple times already, but thank God I had the case. So the phone is fine, but I could definitely see cracks
Cracks in the case.
already.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I mean, it
Um,
did its job.
it did its job, and I'm very thankful. But that means maybe I might need another one, a new one to replace this,
Yeah.
before I get the upgrade in October, you
I've
know?
yeah, I've never well, that's not I don't know if I've ever had an iPhone case. I feel like I probably
What?
have just because I've tried them out, over the years. But no, I like a nice smooth naked phone. Sounds weird, but I do. It's
No,
like as soon as I put a case on, I'm like, nah, I don't like it as much.
yeah, I know, other people just like you. There's many of you, naked iPhone users.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
it's just,
It's a
it's
nudist
it's
colony
fine.
of
It's
sorts. Yeah.
I feel like right now I'm too accident prone for that to happen. I
Well,
would
yeah.
prefer not to have it, but I don't trust myself. And I mean, I guess I could trust myself. This is like the Apple program where you can upgrade, and I have the every year, and then you have Apple Care and all that. So I guess I could just go replace it if I really messed it up. But I still
Goodbye forever, Eileen. We miss you so much. Rest in peace.
should we just keep talking like nothing
I
happened?
don't know how much you hear from me when this happens. Uh but I try to, keep it light you know, with death certificates and stuff like that.
I did not hear. I
Oh,
just
goodness.
oh my god, 0 minutes without incident. That's right, Nick. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna upgrade my computer, make sure all the new software for all the new applications are here for next week. This has never happened before, obviously.
The
We've been through 3 shows
No,
and
we've
fine.
been super smooth, and we had Lamar Wilson with us
Yeah,
last week, so it's like we know that even, having multiple
yeah,
streams not an issue. I think it might be a Chrome thing because I updated Chrome
yeah,
earlier today. I
yeah,
don't even know what updated, but it might
yeah.
be might be something weird going on over there. Listen, in the
Somewhere.
interest of time, because everybody wants to have dinner or whatever. Just a reminder, we are on the socials. Where can people find us on Instagram and YouTube, Eileen?
At Apple Vision Show. Please follow us there. We will be active and I don't know, we'll see. Maybe getting some like Instagram trends, make some cool reels. We'll see. Or you can just see
Indeed.
snippets of our show. Give us some feedback too. Feedback at applevisionshow.com or on the socials. Please do that as well. So you can send us questions anywhere. We're watching. We're
Indeed.
seeing. We see
Yeah.
it all.
Apple Vision Show also on TikTok. If you happen to hang out there all the time, we're hanging out there as well. So yes, subscribe. Please subscribe to applevisionshow.com. Well, subscribe at applevisionshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. We are on all the things, but that's sort of our home base. And if you have feedback on anything that we talked about on the show, or anything that we might talk about on a future show, we would love to hear that too. Feedback at applevisionshow.com is where to send those thoughts. Thank you in advance. This has been fun. For anybody listening to the audio version, you probably are blissfully unaware that poor Eileen had a couple of dropouts, but boy, is she a trooper. We are just, we're coming back better than ever. This is how you get stronger, everybody.
That's
This is how you get stronger.
doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
That's right. So episode 4 in the can. Thanks everybody for listening and watching. If you're watching and joining us live, if you're joining us live, let's do it all again next week.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your patience for those of you watching live, and we will see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye. You guys, whoever watches this YouTube video is going to be like, what is
I thought it was
it was funny?
I mean, at first I was like, oh, what happened? And then I was like, oh, I know what's happening. And then I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Well, the first time I dropped
It's
out, I
fine.
could tell.
You came back like in 5 seconds each time.
I know.
So it wasn't
I
like
know.
I was like, oh no. Where do I go? I was like, oh, she'll be back.
It's like if I could predict when I was gonna go off air, I would have had you on full screen because like the first time I did, and you didn't even know, and so
Right. Yeah, because I was like,
and,
la 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 la. Eileen loves my story so much. Turns out she's like, I wasn't even there.
I was trying to hang in. I was trying to just be in with you. I was like, am I allowed to be on the show? Is there something that's going on?
Yeah.
You guys
Can you
in the
imagine
chat,
StreamYard just like, no, Eileen, bye. You're out of
bye.
here. Yeah, we've
You're
had
done.
it.
You're done. Oh my God, you guys, that was one for the ages. I swear, like I don't even know what just happened. I'm gonna black out.
Well, you know what? Because well, and she did. She just blacked right on out of here. She'll be back. She'll be back. We know this. Yep.
So I heard you know what? That's what I heard. You know what?
You know what, Eileen? Eileen's like, nope, I don't want to know. I
It's
am out
about
of here. Done. Um, I don't even know what my point was going to be anymore. I think it was something like, oh, I know what it was. I having had technical problems over the years in a variety of scenarios, and you have as well.
Mm.
I will say your disposition is very sunny.
Oh.
Because if it were me, I would be pissed right now. I would be
I
like,
think I'm
not,
just
no, this
tired.
isn't fun. I'm going. I have to go. I have to go
I
eat a
mean,
burrito somewhere and be by myself.
I need a drink. Yeah, no, I'm gonna come on the show with a drink one day. We should have one show where we're like, like chiz and we'll see
Yeah,
where that
yeah,
goes.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe
it's
get
Monday
a
afternoon, but hey,
get a beer sponsor, afternoon beer sponsor, whatever. I'm just manifesting for us. But I'm okay. I don't feel frustrated. I'm just tired. It's more like, oh my God, happened again.
no,
It
it's
took
it's
the
frustrating.
energy.
It's always, especially when you don't know why. Because
Yeah.
this is, I mean, we're using StreamYard right now,
Yeah.
and we use that for DTNS, and I know a variety of people who use it for other things, and not
Mhm.
perfect, but this is a new one. This is a new one.
This hopefully is the Chrome
It
update.
doesn't make a lot of sense. It probably is a Chrome thing. I mean, I don't really know, but
Yeah. Somebody, Roger, or they'll just tell me, "Well, Eileen, did you do this?" I'm like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said,
I
we're
don't know what you
learning.
would do, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at least
The,
I jumped back pretty quick. That didn't take long to reload. And
no,
also everything is recording. Thank
I got
God.
you. I got used to it. I was like, oh, we got black box. She'll be back in 5.
I figured you were like just gonna roll with it. Like, anyway, so
No, I tried to have fun with it. Eileen's death has been greatly exaggerated. Everyone, she's actually fine. Thank God. Oh my
oh
goodness.
my God, you guys, this was fun and
It was
also
fun. This
frustrating,
was
but
fun. It was fun. It Monday, February 26th. Let that be a lesson to all of us. We don't know what the lesson is yet,
we don't know.
but
We don't know.
but it will a day that will live in infamy.
I'm like, what is the day next week? I'm like, our show on the 4th, March 4th.
It'll be March. It'll be different. March 4th. Ooh,
Totally.
that's a good one. That's a good one. That's good. I don't I don't know why. Uh it's
Yes.
not Oh, she's
W
going
Scott is
again.
one. Oh, I am. Oh,
You're going
jeez.
again.
Okay. Here.
Goodbye, Eileen. Now it's just funny.
I think that means we have to end the stream soon. But I'm
I think
having.
so. I think so. This was and yeah, I got to take the pup out. Um, so this was fun. It was fun. It was entertaining, and it was a learning experience.
Absolutely, everybody. You guys, thank you for all your support. Please send us some of your
Oh,
internet
Nick, let us
mojo
see.
next week.
I'll help Democon. Poor Demo.
Oh,
He was like, Democon fell.
oh no! Oh
No, you
no!
can't have Democon fall. It's funny. It's a good litmus test, I'll tell you, of people who are like, what is that? Or people who are like, oh, Democon, love that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other every
What can
time.
you see on our shelves?
Right. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream because it's going to crap out on me anyway. And
Yep.
then we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all. See you next week.